Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to look at this tank that we've looked at once before, but I think we need to look at it again. And there is a reason for that, because it's in meta. Like, this tank is the tank at the moment, and honestly I don't really know why, but on the other hand I kind of do. So it is, of course, the 116FV. Now, this got changed a couple of updates ago. The gun got changed, so they gave it an auto loading tank, or they gave it an auto reloader gun. So it become more popular for that reason. But if you look at tournaments right now, this is the tank of a tournament. Honestly, I see one the other day and both teams had 5 of these in each team. And that's what made me think, what the hell is this tank? What's happened to this tank? Why is it in meta? Now, I do talk to a couple of the pro players, because some of them are CCs, and the biggest reason this tank is in meta at the moment is because of one certain consumable, and that is the reactive armor. So obviously this reduces damage received. So if you're in a tournament, you want the enemy to do the least amount of damage that you possibly can. So the fact that it is quite strong, the tank is quite strong, and it does have the reactive armor, pro players are actually like complaining that this is too strong in tournaments. And you know, I've also been seeing this in randoms quite a lot as well. Now, it is a shame that it is a collectible tank, because not everybody can get the tank. So the turret on the thing is 248mm, so it's strong but not the best. It is still strong. And the hull is 196. So armor profile wise, it's actually okay. And we're going to come up against one in the game where you could actually see. And then you've got the DPM 2139, which isn't the greatest, but you know, it is an auto reloader, so you're not going to have the best of DPMs with this tank. So it's kind of average, I would say. Your shot between each shell, so the shell 1 you got 12.68 seconds, shell 2 10.86 seconds, and shell 3 9 seconds. Again, you got 3 shells. Now, your penetration at 270 on your AP, 356 on your heat, which is decent, and 65 on your HE. You've got a 420 alpha gun on your AP, 360 on your heat, and 520 on your HE. Your aim time is 3.6, and your gun dispersion is 0.398. You only have 6 degrees of gun depression, however, which does suck, and a top speed of 42 kilometers per hour. So let's just get into a game. Now, I mean, I do have... Let me just show you this one for a second. I'm not going to watch the whole replay because it isn't the best of replays. I mean, it's a decent game, but it's not the best. I really just want to show the enemy 1163, and I don't think we can get him quite yet. So I do want to just fast forward until we can actually get the shot off against this guy. So not that guy. Let's just keep fast forwarding it a little bit. Literally, I've just missed. So you can see here, hopefully I do push forward, and you can see, look, I mean, that's his turret. That is actually a pretty strong turret. If you think about it, it's quite strong when you are in a hold down position. The turret is very, very strong, and that is with me using AP. So, you know, it's almost impenetrable. There will be weak points, of course, but you know, if you're in the certain position, it is almost impenetrable turret. So you've got to get in that position for it to work, of course. So we're just going to wait for the 114 here, get a decent, well, I say a decent shot. It was quite a low roll, and this is where the gun depression really does suck. So you can see here, I am going to take a shot from the 113. I don't mind that because I bring the Rhinoceronte. I mean, look at that armor profile. That is actually decent armor profile when you're in the right position. You expose yourself like I've just done, then the armor isn't actually that great. So I just wanted to show you that because I knew I'd come up against that guy, and I knew the armor profile was decent, and you can see I still blocked 1100 damage that game. So let's get into a different game, someone better, someone who does a bit better than I've actually just done. So we are on Nube, and Pressured Camper is going to have the game of his life. Let's just fast forward it a little bit just so it's not as boring. So you can see here, he's gone onto the bridge here. So yeah, it's a decent tank. I'm not saying it's a bad tank, but even the pro players are literally saying it's not the best of tank. It's actually a shit tank, but yet it's in meta because of the certain aspects of the tank, like the reactive armor. Now, personally, I don't really use reactive armor that much, but reactive armor for any tank is better in tournaments. It's always been better in tournaments, where in pub games, you know, it's okay, but it's not like massive. It's not a massive consumable or provision to have. So reactive armor side, we are only kind of looking on tournaments, and these kind of players, these pro players, tournament players, are actually calling for Wargaming to remove reactive armor completely from tanks in tournaments. So I don't play tournaments, I don't really watch tournaments, so I can't really talk. Personally, I don't care about reactive armor. I don't use it really. Maybe it's some tanks I will, so I'm not really bothered too much. But if the pro players are saying it's a problem in tournaments, then of course I do believe them, because these are really, really good players that are actually saying this. So back to the replay. So far, 2,000 damage done, 580 damage block. And that is what I love about these new ribbons. You can actually see this in game. You haven't got to wait for the ribbon to flash on your screen. You can actually see this in real time. So far, there is 5 against 5. Now, the 113 is a 2-shot, no problem. 1 shot there, 2 shot there, and he is gone. So it's definitely made the tank better with Wargaming giving it an auto reloader. Do I think it needed it? Maybe, because the tank has never really been anything special. So I do think it needed something. However, I do think that there are too many auto reloaders in the game. So I don't know if that was the right option or not, but it definitely has made it a better tank. It really has made it a better tank. And like I said, it's very popular in tournaments, mostly because of reactive armor. And like I said, I think if they remove the reactive armor, then this would not be as popular in the tournament scene. But talking about it in pub games, it is still a decent tank. It's still a much, much better tank than it used to be, because it has that reactive armor, and of course it has the auto reloader. So what do you guys think of auto reloaders, like especially tanks that have recently been changed? Because there's a load of tanks that have recently been changed, and this is just one of them. Do you prefer it? And do you think there are tanks out there that should remove the auto reloader? Maybe, you know, the Rinoceronte, very strong tank with the auto reloader. But I think if you put tanks like that as just a single shotgun, I don't think it would be half as good. So everyone knows that I love the auto reloader. So I don't mind, because I get to play them. The problem is coming up against them. So no one minds playing in an auto reloader. But yeah, when you come up against them, it is of course a different situation, because they are a lot harder to come up against. So far this game, 4 kills, 5,700 damage and 1,200 block damage. And at this point it should be a loss, but this is where the auto reloading system comes into play, because right now this guy on the enemy has still 2,000 hit points left. So he's going to play this tank as a single shotgun, and that is what you can do up against auto reloaders. And that's the problem with auto reloaders. You can play them in all different. If it is an auto loader, it would be a completely different thing. But this guy, he knows how to play the tank. He knows he's alpha, and he knows the hit points he's coming up against. So now he's only got 1,236 hit points to deal with. So what's he going to do? He knows he can take this guy out with 3 shots. So what's he going to do? He's going to wait. He's going to wait to reload all 3 shells, and then he's going to target. And not a lot of people would actually do that. Most people would carry on shooting this guy with every shot, but he knows what he's doing. There's 1 shot, and now just 600 hit points, 2 shots, easy as that. And that is the problem with auto loaders that he wouldn't have been able to do if he was driving an auto loader rather than an auto reloader. So let me know what you think of this tank, the 116 F3. 8,000 damage done there. Do you think it's OP? Do you think it is crazy? Or do you think it is still a poor tank? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.